People are still broke. I know a lot of people are looking at this recession, the things that are happening. People are saying, I'm broke, I can't do this. And here's 3 things that you can look at that you can see where your hole is. I know for me, I've overspent when I went on a couple of the cruises and things. And I said overspent, meaning that I could have waited on a couple cruises. I just wanted to go. So, not function on the level of just desiring, but basically looking at your expenses. So during that no spend challenge, guys, I was able to see, and one of the things I looked at is there are 3 areas that can cause you to stumble. And here's one of them. Your living expenses. Y'all have seen me preach about co-living. Some people call it roommates. Some people call it whatever they want to call it. I don't even care at this point. I just want y'all to know that the reason why I do what I do, as far as that's concerned, is that I want to make a difference in how my income will be affected. So when I choose to go and get a place, and remember, you may have seen me say this, and if you haven't, here it goes. It's 30% of what you make. So your total income times 30% should be what you can afford in mortgage or rent. If you are over that, that means you're overspending in that area, in that column. This is why I do encourage you guys to look into co-living. Now, roommates and certain people, they will have to pay a monthly rent, right? So say, for instance, someone just asked me how much I paid. You can go back and look at the video. I think it was in one of the comments on co-living versus what I'm doing. So the average rent in the area where I live for 1 bedroom, not even a studio, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, I think. I want to say it's $1,500. It might be $16. But the point I'm trying to make is over the amount that I pay for what I have. The amount I'm going to start doing is pretending like I paid that amount, right? But the money I, quote unquote, are not paying, I'm putting it over to the side to create a bigger emergency fund. I'm paying off debt and I'm going to get, do my emergency fund. So with that, you got to sit there and think, where I live, is it really worth it? There are people, and I know somebody personally, who's paying almost $2,700 for a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. It's a luxury apartment. It's amazing. Okay, let's just put it away. It's a great view, and it's what you would call the status, but it's not worth that much money now when you can purchase a whole home for that. But that's neither here or there. So 30%, and right now I'm staying in an Airbnb. My daughter got me an Airbnb. I came to visit my daughter for the weekend and my grandson. So with that said, so say you're paying that 30% of your total, and you're going, okay, yeah, I made my own mimosas, y'all. Yesterday, me and my daughter went out for lunch, and it was just too much, I think. But this mimosa, the bottle of champagne I got from Aldi's for like $7.95, and then the orange juice like $2. So like for less than $11, I can have a bunch of unlimited mimosas. Okay. I digressed. So 30% of your total income should be no more than for your mortgage or rent. The second area you got to look at, that's why I kind of emphasize co-living a lot more than you guys care to even hear, but I just tell y'all anyway. The second area is your transportation. If you have seen my videos, I've shared about me getting something that was not brand new. It was about 10 years old. I have to pay it off, and I probably got a higher interest at that time because my credit was not the most perfect, but I went through the credit union. So that's neither here or there. It's almost paid off. So, and when you go in, you don't go in for long-term loan amount. And matter of fact, you want to go straight to your credit union. That's what I use, Navy Federal. And you really kind of like them to pre-approve you, and then you know what you're working with, what your budget is, what they'll say, hey, this is how much you're going to spend. Then your goal is to, get some assistance by going online and finding a vehicle that can meet those requirements for the cash or the check they're going to cut you, because you got to pay somebody back, and I'm paying the credit union back. So you got to look at it. Some people, car payments are $1,500. Whew. $900. $700. $650. And then that's not including insurance, because insurance, if you got a car that you owe the bank, you got to get full coverage, no exceptions. That's how they do. So your insurance rate went up for everybody, and it does tie into your credit. So if you got your credit and your insurance, it's kind of scary, but that's just how they do. That's why it's so imperative to take care of your business, pay off your debt, and move on. So in return, transportation, go look and see how much you're paying for that car. Now I tell people, don't go and try to trade it in. You have to sell it. Some of y'all are upside down in your car, so trying to go and trade it, they're going to tack that money right back onto your car, your new car. And you're going to be like, why is my car so expensive? I've seen a gentleman do that I personally know. He wanted a truck, and he went and traded in, quote unquote, his vehicle, and they just tacked it onto his truck. He was like, I paid this much money in car payment. Well, that's you chose to do that. Sometimes you just got to go out and buy cash cars, or get a loan that's really inexpensive that you can double up and pay off quick. That's just smart finances, especially when you know financially you need to get out of debt. Because I was under this gentleman, I forgot his name, I think it's in JJ Finance. He said it's nothing better than having all your debt and things out of the way. It makes life much easier. There are people in relationships right now who would not be in those relationships if they didn't have that much debt, or they don't have a place to go because their credit is screwed up, or they don't have a job that can do 3 times your rent. That's another thing. 3 times your rent. You got to pay that, get qualified for that in order to get an apartment now. They don't want people in there just keep taking the space and then can't pay the rent. So number 1 was your housing expenses. Housing expenses. 2 was housing and living, and 2 was your transportation. Some people have to ride the bus. You hear that train? That's another train. But there is a light rail. Let me show you where I'm at. With my daughter got me a place here near the light rail. I'm in Charlotte, and that light rail is pretty cool. Before I left here, I lived here for like 25 years. I went to college here. But when I left, they were just trying to get that connected to another part of the city, and it's amazing. It's all the way up the area. So wherever you live, you pretty much can jump on that if you want to save money, or the city bus. I know a lot of people say, I don't want to ride the city bus. I don't like to. When I was riding the bus, people was like, I feel sorry for you. Why? I was paying $60 a month for a bus pass, and I was going more places than most people go anywhere. I was like, people would see me when I used to post on Facebook and share, different things. People would see me everywhere. They're like, oh my God, you're there, you're here, there, everywhere. And I didn't have a car. I have a car now, but I didn't. So when I had to pay my car payment or my insurance, I am very grateful, but I'd be like, I remember the days when I didn't have one. So yeah, so there's that. So the third thing, so check out your car, check out, can you get it, don't get refinanced, can you sell it and get something much cheaper? And if you don't, then double up on payments and get rid of that car payment so you won't have to have that full coverage. And you can reduce your insurance and your car payment will be gone. Just drive a cash car, or a car, not a cash car, but a car that you don't have to make payments on. So that's my goal. And I'll keep that particular vehicle until whenever I need a new one. I just hope I don't. But hey, it is what it is. Another thing, and you can rent cars if you go out of town, that's what you like. And if you want to look a certain way, you can do that. So the next thing I want to talk about is your food expense. So for me, I was trying to make it a goal of $40 a week, which equates to about $160 a month. However, I went to the grocery store, but I hadn't been in the grocery store in about a month. So, and then we had that power outage because of the hurricane. So I didn't feel as bad purchasing the items I need to purchase. But I want to kind of restrict myself to having, like saying $40 a week or $30. 30 would be kind of real low. I want some good quality food. So I'll probably go to the farmer's market. I'm going to go start getting fresh eggs, things of that nature. But I'm trying to put myself on a budget that's less than $150, no more than $175 a month for groceries. because it can get out of hand if you go in there and you're not paying attention. So I want you guys to develop some form of a budget. Look at everything you have that you have to pay off. Trust me, I know. I've been a bad girl on certain things. So I got to pay them off. That is totally my fault. I don't blame anyone or anybody for what I am. I don't own those student loans. Those are paid. I will be going back to school, but my goal is to find enough things that will cover that. I don't have to take it out of my pocket. But even if I did, I still want to be so low in debt that it won't hurt me. I can just double up and pay it, right? So, and there are many people that look at this and say, I'm gonna still be broke. Well, you need to probably develop a better skill set, another skill set, another side hustle, or business or something that can give you more money. Because I think a lot of times many people don't want to work. They want to go to work. Well, they may go to work. When they get off, they know they still owe all this debt, and they'll just pop off on the television because they want to escape. And I get it. But when you got that much debt, that makes you have more stress. And I tell people, and I say it in a lot of my videos, ain't nothing like waking up and not knowing how to pay your bills. That's the worst stress you could probably cause. That's why people have heart attacks and strokes and things of that nature. One of the ladies I actually love to follow, and actually met her in person and went to a seminar she did. And her name is Jewel, AKA the Bohemian Soul. And she had a stroke. I didn't even know it. She had a stroke. She lives right here in Charlotte. Well, a little further out, in her tiny home. But she said her tiny home saved her life because she didn't have to worry about mortgage. The only thing she paid for, I guess she paid for a lot rent, and I think she pays that up probably up for a year. But she lives in the back of someone's farm. But her house is paid for. She doesn't owe anybody anything, so she didn't have to worry about a mortgage payment or anything. She has a really nice truck, SUV. I won't describe it because, you know, you might see her. But it's a really nice truck, and I don't know if she's paid that off. Maybe she has. But the point I'm trying to make is she had an actual stroke, guys, and she is not, she may be right at my age or a little younger. And I'm like, wow. So that goes to show you that life is short. Life can be short, but you have got to get so good at trying to figure out this thing so you won't be broke. It's not a good feeling. I'm not broke, but I know I could be further ahead than what I am, just based on poor choices. Yeah, there are decorations in here. It's a really little metro, well, I guess you call it chic. But for me, that couch right there was hard as a brick. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know if, I think they did it on purpose. It's really cute, and the chairs are dainty. Y'all can see these chairs. There's a light rail, y'all. And those are the chairs. The place itself is really nice. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. But I was just going to say, it's an Airbnb my daughter got me while I'm up here visiting, so I could have a little space of my own. Thank God for daughters, my children. But yeah, people still broke. People still crying. I just gave you some pointers. Hope that helps. Bye, y'all.